Why is Michael Saylor talking about the Terra Luna Classic ecosystem and what's going on with USTR? Why are people starting to turn to this alternative stablecoin from Ceramic as a potential game changer for the Terra Luna Classic ecosystem? We're going to try to break all this down. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in. It's not financial advice. I'm always right, though. All right, first up, I don't play this because I'll get copyrighted, but Michael Saylor gave a keynote address. I'm going to put the link down below so that you guys can watch it if you choose to for yourself. But Michael Saylor basically giving his idea behind stablecoin. And at the point that he talks about stablecoin, he's like, some of them did it right, some of them did it wrong, some of them did it terribly, and some of them went to zero, like UST, Terra, in this ecosystem. But when he sums it up, he says, look, this was actually a good idea, meaning that USTC and Terra Luna Classic together was actually a pretty good idea, done poorly. But that's a pretty good, encouraging sign when you've got the biggest maxi in crypto, Michael Saylor, talking about Terra Luna Classic and how they almost had it exactly right. If we, as the community, started to vote in the right ways for a revival, then guess what would happen? We would find, or we should be able to find the right way to do some sort of revival, if you will. And not only that, but more came out of this. Subscribe to the channel, by the way. So Leonardo posts his post about what's going on with the repeg here. Many new faces are starting to ask questions about the ceramic repeg plan, and it's clear why. By the way, I'm probably one of the only people that's talking about it openly, that communicates with a lot of people. Probably not because of me, though. It's probably because of the circumstance that everything is going through right now, in that they stopped USTD because they don't want to grow, or they want it to be the way they want it to be, whatever the reason is. They've decided that that's not the one. So a lot of people still don't realize the power of this model. For example, you'll first be able to stake USTR for UST1, a fully collateralized stablecoin, before being able to swap, or that the USTC is forever locked, or USTC is used to mint UST1 immediately to buy yield-bearing assets, 100% eliminating any USTC sell pressure, or, and then he gives you the kind of a breakdown here. There's plenty. I can complain about wasted time and lost momentum, but truthfully, I'm grateful. So what we're seeing is that USTR could be a path forward. And the good thing about the USTR path right now is that it doesn't take validators. This is a layer 2 solution that starts on the BNB side of this BSC chain. So the validators who are trying to squash and kill any progress on this chain, guess what? They have no vote in it. So this would be an automated thing that would just start doing, and it wouldn't need these guys to be involved, or at least that's where it appears on the surface. Now, at some point, if there's anything to do with the Lunc chain, then obviously they'll need help. And when they reached out to have developers didn't have an appetite for it previously. Now, that doesn't mean that they won't in the future. And by the way, doesn't mean that this process or project would work. Doesn't even mean that. Just means that it was killed before it actually had a chance, and now people are coming back around to it. So we'll see how this develops over the next couple of days and weeks. Maybe this is something that will happen. For all your risk-based gaming needs, terracasino.io. Put your username in my live streams. You could win $50. Terraport.finance to buy all your utility and meme coins. And remember, Terra, the Terra token, has started to really take off, coming in just around a penny. Remember, we bought in at 202 a while back, and now we're starting to get that really big pump, and that feels pretty good. Now, of course, with Lunc pumping a little bit, if we get a nice little pump on that, then that as a pairing will cause Terra to start to pump even more, create more arbitrage opportunities for the exchange. I think it was MEXC that they just got listed on. So there could be a real opportunity here for some growth in this ecosystem just based on Terraport and Lunc alone. For DEXs, they're still number 1 by a long shot. Terra Swap took over number 2 for a day. Garuda DeFi as well, sitting around 5,000. So volume up a little bit. You can see here still about $1 million a month being moved through Terraport. That is the place to go right now for all your trading. So again, where are the voters? I don't know what they're doing, but We're still waiting to see about this spending proposal for phase 2 from Orbit Labs. You can check, of course, and see exactly what the votes are. No with vetoes. There's just auto stake having abstained so far. That's what the big blue line is right there. No big movement from the validators. Again, you still see Greenpeace kind of making his way up the charts. You see Jesus is Lord kind of falling. I remember Jesus is Lord was in the top 5 at one point. They've now fallen down to number 7 and number 10, respectively. So again, there's tiny movements, but nothing really game-changing. As far as meme coins and everything go, Terra still having a nice little run of it. Down over the last week. It's just the nature of it because we've had this dip in the market. But otherwise, we're just kind of meandering, not a lot of trade volume. Now, a few minutes ago, we were up $40 billion. It's now down to $28 billion. We're coming online right now while the U.S. market is getting ready to open. Typically, that's a profit-taking moment by the Europeans and the Middle Eastern markets. I think I'm guessing in that regard. But it's a profit-taking moment, or it's a moment if the market is pumping for the U.S. market to dump into the opening of the bell for the stock exchange, where institutions start to layer themselves in, if in fact that's what they're going to do. So we're seeing mostly green in the market, except a few projects randomly. So it could be a good day for a recovery. Now, remember, we're down about 600 billion from that top that we were at just a short while ago. So there is a lot of opportunity here for a massive reversal and pump. Now, we're looking a little bearish right now, but we could be looking again at that reversal. Now, let's look at Terra Luna Classic. All right, so I'd like to point this out one more time. Wintermute dumped a huge amount at one fell swoop. And I want to zoom in here so you guys can see this. This is a 1 hour candle. Wintermute was buying and dumping so much of everything. They were holding so much of everything that they dumped up here into this range at, let's call it 405, 55, into this range right here. That's where the dump started. Look how fast it got bought back. Do you want to know who bought back so quickly? Also Wintermute. What you were seeing were major micro transactions as Wintermute was dumping using an AI bot, AI agent to just put and deploy tons of different cells to try to fill at as many higher prices as it could until it started to increase the cells, bringing the pressure down, and people would start to panic sell. And then Wintermute gets to buy back in and watch their bag pump one more time. And you can see from that big candle that that's exactly what happened. Now, that is also telling in that means Wintermute is holding Terra Luna Classic. If you don't believe me, I can't prove anything to you unless you go and you start looking at their wallets and you go figure it out yourself. It's not going to be me proving it to you, though. But they are definitely in here because that's the type of buy pressure that you only get when a massive institution steps in. Okay, that is how this was going to work all along, especially in light of Luna Classic, which had a catastrophic dump, doing another catastrophic dump again. The only person with the stomach to do that is the person orchestrating. Okay, that's all you're going to get. So that's what you have right now. You have Wintermute, who is holding some Terra Luna Classic, probably a small amount. They didn't buy back the whole bag. You can see that clearly. And the people who dumped did not come back in all the way yet. But we've had a nice little surge back. So where do we go? It looks like we're still heading back up into the range. Now, here's the problem. Problem is, as you zoom out here, we're outside of that range that we were in before. So I haven't really, gone for a new paradigm. But if I were, I would say that, this is most likely kind of the range that we're looking at right now. We've got this downward descending channel. So I would suspect that we're going to go wick towards the top of it. On the 4 hour, we're hitting the 50 MA. So I would think that we're probably ultimately going to pump through back up to the top of the range. But that range, of course, is going to be just a tiny bit lower when we get back up into that 55 range. It's going to be some profit taking along the way. I would suspect that when you look at this from a reverse Fibonacci, we're almost at a full move right now. So we've broken up to the 786. So if we're going to have a surge, then again, I would suspect that about 54, 55 is going to be where we sort of grind to a halt at that point to see which way the wind blows, if you will. That's all I can say about it at this point. Volume up 22%, so we're starting to see a little bit of something happening, but it's just volume. USTC up 314%. Again, Michael Saylor talking about UST and Terra and the Luna ecosystem, I think is a very big deal. Also, I'm unbanned from CoinMarketCap. Turns out somebody hacked my account and I was promoting some kind of Trump airdrop of some sort. Like they gave me the name of it and it was wild. So anyway, but we're back. Burns are 854 million, and that's because we had another 84 million burn yesterday, and we have 34 today. Again, not huge amounts, but they are amounts. And look, the more we burn, the more each one of your tokens becomes a little bit more, each one of your coins becomes a little bit more valuable every single time. So hopefully we'll see some nice buybacks over the next couple of days. Hopefully we'll start to get into the cut of this market in a bullish cycle, and we'll start to see some breakouts. And if we see some breakouts, then I think the Luna Classic gets drug along with it. Again, 12 billion market cap is going to maintain as my projection. We're going to do an analysis again and kind of look at the market, look at the chart, and see exactly where, can we make another estimation? Are we lowering our expectations? I'll give you that update tomorrow. In the meantime, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right.